you give me 1 minute? Well, I'm gonna have to get something on. Kill my mother, man. That was my mom.
This is Dale Williams. He is now being sentenced after confessing to running his ex-girlfriend off the road, then fatally shooting her. She was a mother, and her 2 sons are in the courtroom. In court, things get much more chaotic when 2 brothers take the law into their own hands. You see the 30-year-old Anthony D. sliding over the table, and 23-year-old Jerome Stewart going around. There was no order in this courtroom as 2 brothers attacked their mother's killer.
Kill my mother, man. That was my mama. She took care of me, bro.
After Dale Williams' first sentencing was postponed, he was later sentenced to 23 years to life. For the 2 sons, the judge sentenced them to serve 30 days in jail for assault, contempt of court, and obstructing an official business. This wasn't the only time families snapped because of how the killer was acting in court, like during the sentencing of 18-year-old Peyton Gendron, who's facing multiple charges for murder.
Oh my God, he shot so many people in there.
On May 14, 2022, Peyton, a white supremacist, opened fire in a black-dominated Tops-Friendly Market store in New York. Sadly, 10 black individuals lost their lives, and 3 others were hurt before he was finally arrested. Now in court, family members of the victims let him know how they feel about him.
While I was writing this, tears fell from my eyes. Thinking about what a beautiful person you took.
My daughter, Robbie Drury, was a young woman. She was not married. She had no children. You destroy our lives forever.
One of the most touching statements was from Barbara Massey.
My name is Barbara Massey. I'm Catherine Massey's sister. You killed my sister. I want personally to choke you and leave my fingerprints on your neck because it was unnecessary. You leave 200 miles to come to Buffalo. You don't even know any black people. I want to choke. You better think those places. You better say, cops, thank y'all for protecting me because I will hurt you so bad. You have made me sick. You got my family crying. I miss my sister every day. You don't like black people. Man, you don't know a damn thing about black people.
However, while she was speaking, a supposed family member wanted to let Peyton know how he felt.
Never go in those neighborhoods and take people out. Don't do it.
Luckily, the police were able to calm the situation. Now it's Peyton's turn to speak.
I'm very sorry for all the pain I forced the victims and their families to suffer through. I'm very sorry for stealing the lives of your loved ones. I cannot express how much I regret all the decisions I made leading up to my actions on May 14th. I did a terrible thing that day. I shot and killed people because they were black. And I don't want anyone to be inspired by me and what I did.
You don't need none of that shit! Out of here! You don't need that shit!
Eventually, the judge reads her sentence.
The damage you have caused is too great, and the people you have hurt are too valuable to this community. You will never see the light of day as a free man ever again. It is the judgment of this court for your conviction under the first count of the indictment, a domestic act of terrorism motivated by hate in the first degree, an A1 felony, that you be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole.
Peyton was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. But this wouldn't be the last time a family's lunged at the perpetrator in court. Take, for example, the case of Michael Madison. This is Michael Madison. He is now a convicted serial killer from East Cleveland, Ohio, known to have committed at least 3 murders, all of whom were women. During his sentencing hearing, Van Terry took the stand to deliver a victim impact statement to the man who tortured and murdered his 18-year-old daughter.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown. Who's touched our families, taken my child.
In this split second, Terry is staring right at Madison, and that's when reportedly, Madison smiled back. Terry is released without charges, and in 2016, Madison was sentenced to death. He is currently being held on death row. However, we will witness a similar yet more intense courtroom proceedings of sexual abuser Larry Nassar, who is facing multiple charges for sexual abuse. Larry was a sports doctor at Michigan State University and with USA Gymnastics when police received reports of his crimes. However, during investigations, Larry had a different story.
I don't get it. Why didn't she say something if she was feeling violated in any way, shape, and form? There was no communication.
Okay. Do you ever get aroused during these exams?
I shouldn't be getting during an exam.
Right. Well, the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because this young girl and her mother both observed this on more than one occasion during treatment.
If there was arousal, it's. I mean, like it would be because of whatever. I don't know, but I'm not trying to.
Whatever. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
When you're a guy, sometimes you get.
The truth caught up with him, and he was arrested. Now, in court, his victims take to the stand.
I testified to let the world know that you are a repulsive liar.
One after the other.
I am Jessica Tomashow, also known as Victim A. I was sexually assaulted by Larry Nassar when I was 9 and 12 years old. You broke and shattered a lot of girls. You manipulated us to trust you because you're a doctor, and doctors do no wrong, only heal. You are not a healer.
Now it's time for the parents to address Larry.
I don't know who you are now. Maybe I never knew. Maybe none of us did. But Larry, you did this to yourself. And you did this to us.
But to sit in prison and wait to die.
And I said, are you ready to go to lunch? And she's like, no, Mom, I just want to go home. And I said, what's wrong? Are you in pain? And she said, Mom, I just want to go home. And I said, okay. So we got in the car and I said, and she started bawling. And I said, Chelsea, tell me what's wrong. And she said, Mom, he put his and they weren't gloved. And I said, Chelsea, I was right there in the room. And she goes, you couldn't see what was going on, Mom. And she said, he hurt me. In 2009, she took her own life because she couldn't deal with the pain anymore.
For this particular parent, Larry's tears hold no value. Words were not enough.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon. Would you do that? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Would you give me 1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how I was.
Well, I'm going to have to get something on.
Stay down. Stay down. I understand.
Let me have that son of a bitch.
I understand, but stay down.
I want that.
Stop fighting. Behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
I want that son of a bitch.
Put your hands behind your back.
I know. Give me 1 minute with that bastard.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
Eventually, Larry takes to the stand.
What I am feeling pales in comparison to the pain, trauma, and emotional destruction that all of you are feeling. There are no words that can describe the depth and breadth of how sorry I am for what has occurred. An acceptable apology.
In the end, the judge gives her sentence.
I find that you don't get it, that you're a danger. You remain a danger. I am a judge who believes in life and rehabilitation when rehabilitation is possible. I have many defendants come back here and show me the great things they've done in their lives after probation, after parole. I don't find that's possible with you. Your decision to assault was precise, calculated, manipulative. Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months. I've just signed your death warrant. I need everyone to be quiet. I still have contempt powers. I told you I'm not nice. Thank you. That's all for the record.
Larry will spend the rest of his life in prison. However, while this reaction could certainly be dismissed as an effect of uncontrollable anger, the same can't be said for the case of 23-year-old Quinn Bowes. Facing charges for murder, Quinn is in court for the murder of his 11-month-old son. Quinn was found guilty and sentenced to 25 years in prison. However, as he was being led away, the unexpected happened. Jeremiah Matthew Lay, the child's uncle, punched him before he was wrestled down by the police. Jeremiah was eventually sentenced to 179 days in jail for his actions. However, while it was clear that Jeremiah wasn't happy with what Quinn did, his reaction to the sentence was similar to the London Thomas. This is Vashon Flowers. Vashon Flowers, accused of murder, found himself entangled in a tragic incident stemming from a heated dispute over smoking, which ultimately resulted in the fatal shooting of his wife, Jamie Thomas Flowers. In the courtroom, as the daughter of the victim took the stand, she recounted the harrowing events that unfolded.
He was irritable and said that he was a grown man. If he wanted to buy cigarettes, he would buy cigarettes. He got down on the ground and started choking my mother. Actually, I heard, "You don't have to do this, Vashon. Please don't do this. You don't have to do this." And then I heard gunshots.
Throughout the sentencing proceedings, London Thomas, the son of the victim, struggled to contain his emotions. Eventually, Vashon received a life imprisonment sentence. Like the video for the algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Watch this video next.